Once upon a time in a small kingdom, there lived a blacksmith. He wasn't known for being rich or clever. In fact, people often laughed at him. They said he was strange because, unlike other blacksmiths who hammered and worked loudly, his shop was always silent. He would sit for hours in front of his forge, barely striking metal. People would pass by and whisper, "He's lazy, must be daydreaming again." Even the king heard of him. One day, the king visited the blacksmith's workshop out of curiosity. He asked, "You're a blacksmith, yet I never hear your hammer. What do you even make?" The blacksmith quietly smiled and said, "Your Majesty, I make bells, but not just any bells. I make bells that only ring when it matters." The king raised an eyebrow. "Show me," he said. The blacksmith brought out a small, elegant bronze bell. It looked simple, even unimpressive. The king picked it up and shook it. Nothing. He banged it on the table. Still silence. The court laughed. "See, foolish blacksmith can't even make a bell that rings." But the blacksmith didn't react. He simply said, "Your Majesty, this bell was not made to make noise. It was made to listen." The king frowned. "What do you mean?" The blacksmith explained. "This bell rings only when it hears truth spoken nearby. It doesn't react to noise, it responds to meaning." Everyone went quiet. The king, amused but curious, decided to test it. He ordered his ministers to speak near the bell. One by one, the ministers made grand speeches. They spoke of loyalty, service, and wisdom. But the bell stayed silent. Then a young servant stepped forward nervously and said, "I don't know big words, but I believe in being kind and doing my best every day." The bell rang. Software pure, clear. The king stood stunned. The blacksmith said calmly, "Truth doesn't shout, it whispers." From that day on, the king placed the bell in his court, and whenever someone spoke, the king listened. Not for applause, but for the quiet ring of truth. Moral: sometimes those who seem quiet or foolish are the ones who understand life the most. In a world full of noise, truth doesn't always roar. Sometimes it simply rings. If this story touched your heart, like the video, share it with someone who needs to hear it, and subscribe for more stories of quiet wisdom.